All right, welcome in Geminis to your November tarot reading. So this is a combo of a tarot / intuitive reading. And this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Geminis. So we're closing out the end of 2025. Kind of crazy. So yeah, let's see what we're starting the last 2 months of your year. How are you going to end? There's something I'm getting more for, I got it for Aquarius too, but for you guys as well. There's something about like when you're standing at, the last day of the year and looking back, I almost feel this like what happened type of like looking back and saying what happened here and kind of reassessing how you got here or, and like there's this aspect of like major transformational change that is really kicking off in November for everyone. So for Geminis, I feel like October was really like burning the house down type energy. And November is really kind of rising from the ashes for you guys, or like really looking at, okay, now what? Like, what do I want to build now? What do I want to change? How do I change from, again, just what's happened this year or what's happened in my life? So just quick, I wanted to hit, because November is going to be it has the most astrological aspects out of any month of the year. I think there's over like 30 planets aspecting. What is an aspect? It's basically different. An aspect is like planets communicating with each other, interacting and creating some sort of relational kind of impact. And so there's a lot of them. There's usually not this many. We also have 2 retrogrades in November. Mercury is going retrograde, I think around the 9th of November through the end of the month. And then we have Uranus going retrograde as well. So a lot around potentially with that Mercury retrograde, which Geminis, for you guys, that is a potential for the past to come back, or like people from the past to come back, or like a revitalization of something from the past that you really need to either look at. Maybe there's like, closures that need to happen, or maybe there's something that's coming back for you to maybe relook at. Like, do I want to maybe relook at this and move this forward in my life? So I think you've kind of felt like you're going to start the month, Geminis, and feeling a little bit like things are super slow, not much is happening here. But then we look at, so we have the Sun's in Scorpio, and that's combined with Mars, which is in your house of wellness and routine. So you're a little bit going to be in this like fix it mode. Okay, what do I need to really looking at life at like fixing your habits, fixing your environment, even physically like cleaning up, organizing things. You're kind of going to start feeling that energy. But there's something here about, where am I directing my life force energy? Where am I directing my focus? Am I too focused on details, like too much focus on the like day-to-day stuff? Okay, like I'm too focused in the physical world. I'm too focused on cleaning. I'm too focused on organizing, just physically building something. And there's kind of like, where do I need to redirect my energy? Like, am I ignoring what my soul is calling for? Like, am I getting rest? Am I getting joy? Am I getting bliss? Am I getting connection? And your body and mind are going to start really speaking out. So if you have not been putting your energy in the right places for you and your life and your soul, you're going to start feeling it, whether it's physically, you might start feeling burnt out. You might mentally hit some, walls where you're like, oh God, I need to rest. So that's something that's going to come up in November. I mean, November is a huge month for just spiritual expansion in general. I mean, intense. Like, we are leveling up. Everybody's leveling up, and you are not going to get away from this either, Geminis. So, if you haven't spent the time to really deeply connect with yourself, to really start doing some internal, just connection, talking to your intuition, life is going to force you to do it. So just be careful, because when we don't listen and the universe has to intervene, it might knock us on our butts in a completely different way that's maybe not the best way or the most enjoyable way. The other things, again, with the spiritual piece, Venus will enter Scorpio on November 6th. So this is really going to be diving even deeper in the unconscious, in the soul, being more reflective. This may cause some emotions to come up, so you may feel a little more up and down emotionally. But this is a time to really integrate, heal, focus on your soul, on what you want moving forward. So, what else do we have? We have Mercury retrograde. We talked about that. And then we have Mercury re-entering Scorpio on the 18th. So that's bringing a big focus on, again, emotions, healing, also our boundaries, but also like really re-looking at our belief systems, our patterns, things like that, and really again, transforming that. And then towards the end of November, so the beginning of November might be a little hairy for Geminis, but at the end of the month, when the sun moves into Sagittarius, you're kind of going to be re-energized, reconnected. This is also a month where you're going to learn to be more vulnerable, and understanding that vulnerability does not equal, does not make you weak, or that vulnerability equals unsafe, right? Because as air signs, I mean, you guys are really in the mind. You can definitely do you can definitely manipulate your own self as well as others greatly when trying to avoid going too deep. Geminis, you kind of like to stay in the intellectual side and the thinking end. But you're going to be asked to do a deep dive into your emotions if you've been avoiding, pretending that they're not there, or trying to, not deal with some emotional situations. It could be from your past. It could be current. You're definitely, with that, a lot of that scorpionic energy, you're going to have to relook at that, especially with the retrogrades. It's like we have to review. We're pausing to re-review stuff potentially, especially Mercury retrograde is about digging up the past a little bit. But again, at the end of the month, I think you're going to be really feeling more wanting connection from a relationship standpoint, open to there's more loving energy, romantic energy, and it'll help you feel recharged by the end of the month. So that's kind of the overview of November. Lots of stuff. That's what I wanted to talk about, that in the monthly readings, because I feel like there's so much stuff going on in November that I wanted to hit that with everyone. Geminis, if you're interested in a personal reading with me, you can book that on my website, which is linked below in the description. And, I have been thinking about, so currently I just obviously do what I do on my channel. I do intuitive tarot readings. I also do channeling. So I was thinking of, again, innovation, right? Rethinking my life and kind of what I'm offering, and kind of putting my other skill sets out there. So I was thinking of doing some channeling readings for people where you could provide questions, or even we could dive into certain areas of your life, and I can channel. We can connect. Usually what I do is I just ask whoever is for your highest good to channel, come in, and then we can channel some guidance and information and answers for you. So probably we'll be adding that as another option shortly here. All right, we have Jupiter in the mix here. So that's a good sign for you all. Good luck for November. All right, so I'm doing a different spread here today. So I will talk you guys through it as we go. But firstly, I'm going to connect to your current energies and see what's going on. So we have man holding a heart and creativity. So to me, you're looking at this to me is really digging deep, because creativity really comes from, your connection to your higher self. This is connecting and being truly connected to your soul here. So creativity comes from truly an inspired, place. And the only way to really connect to that is if we're really aligning, meditating, going inside, listening to those little callings of our soul. And then when we tie this with love or romance here, I think you're really going to start getting some real intuitive messages, higher things coming in that's going to guide you around your love life, or, romance in general. You may be getting really inspired through different things in life, inspiring you to open your heart more. Maybe you're being called more to the space of relationships and romance in November. Or sorry, this is current. So this is kind of where you've been at. I feel like there's a lot of feelings going on for you Geminis right now, and it's just like you're trying to really process them on how to express them and to create the type of relationship, or just, again, connections in your life that fuel you, that inspire you. But it starts with you, Geminis, right? It starts with you. Because if you're not a romantic lover or a romantic person, or someone really that's able to fully, open their heart, right? You're not going to create the environment where love is going to thrive either. So this is going to be different for all of you. So let's get some tarot. We got the Devil. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of karmic patterning around love for you, Gemini. So this is coming up. These are karmic patterns or karmic relationships. I feel like you're also holding on to a lot of repressed fear around relationships. So that could show up as really not trusting people, or just you're afraid to fully, this could be commitment issues. It could be, so this could show up in either way. This could show up through yourself, or you attract people who have commitment issues. So it can go either way here. So the Devil, King of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. So there's definitely some relationship here that's being called out here. I definitely feel like somebody is definitely more connected to their heart space and their emotions, and can express. But sometimes this King of Cups, he feels very deeply. He has a lot of deep feelings, but he's not great at communicating. So apply that to your situation, if that's you or someone you're with. And then we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very inspiring. So what's interesting, you have creativity and inspiration here. And this person, whether it's you or the other, is very creative, very inspiring. They're very attractive. I feel like this person has their shit together a little bit more and is kind of really grounded in their life and is kind of like at a place where they're really inspired to, experience life at its fullest. The King of Cups here is feeling a lot. So however that comes out, but there's something here with the Devil. There's something blocking this. So whether this is a karmic relationship or there's a lot of fear or blocks on one side or both sides, it's definitely creating a block in this connection here. All right, what's coming in for you? We have second chakra here. And then we have vast vistas. There's something about there's so much potential coming in for you, Geminis. I think you need to open up. I feel this kind of energy of you're kind of stuck in this little bubble. And you're kind of just focused, even if it's like you tend to just focus on the day-to-day and you're really ingrained to just the day-to-day. But the universe is asking for you to expand, to open up to new experiences, to new even locations, traveling, and just seeing the potential that's out there and getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of the day-to-day stuff, because I feel like that's been blocking you. And it's tied to the second chakra piece here. So you may want to ask Archangel Ariel for help in clearing any blocks within the second chakra. So that's the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is really tied to your life force, your personal power. There's also a tie here. So the yellow energy here, also when we think of like the solar plexus, this is tied to emotions as well. So there's something between emotions and power and grounding energy and creating harmony in your life. But I also think you need to open up here in new ways. Just, making sure we're still recording. I have been having some technology issues with recordings just turning off. And we're not even in Mercury retrograde yet, so we'll see how that goes. So King of Swords, the Fool, the Eight of Pentacles. So you're definitely, what's coming in for you, I think you're definitely willing to take a leap of faith or to take a risk in regards to something that you may feel is, again, there's this unknown factor to it. You are starting a new path here. It could be tied to this relationship, but there's also something coming up here around work. So you could be taking some sort of leap of faith or risk in taking some sort of new job. But I think you're getting really clear, King of Swords. So that's you, Gemini. You guys are air signs. So the King of Swords is really, again, there's this aspect with the King of being too much in the head, but I do feel that you're getting clear on kind of what's next for you in your life, getting clear on a direction you want to go in. It could be in regards to work again, but you're trying to figure things out. You're trying to figure out a plan or like some sort of actionable things you can do to move forward in a better direction. It could be tied to money, but also work. But you're going to be the Fool here. So I like that. And that's about expanding, right? So you're willing to expand into, it could be something new that you haven't done before, or trying something where it could be tied to what you do, but it's like shifting into where it is a new path for you. It is trying something different than you've done in the past. All right, so next is messages from your future self. So we have the Sun card and the Strength card. So I love this. So this is something I'm getting about confidence as well, like riding into the future with confidence, or whatever you're gonna do, whether it's a job or a relationship, there has to be confidence in this, like Joan of Arc, like this passion of like, I'm not going to fail. Okay. I'm riding into battle here and I'm going to give it my all. So you have this new kind of this like mindset about things. And I love it for you, Gemini. It's like, you're not half-assing anything anymore. You're not just like, okay, I'm going to half-ass this. I'm going to jump into this, but I'm not willing to like give my all. I mean, give my full attention, my time, my energy, all of that in regards to something. And this is going to produce something really happy for you. And I think it's because you are approaching it differently than you did in the past. Because we talked about, I think you're being inspired by something, like there's passion here to really jump into something, and you're jumping into it with the Fool. But you're really inspired to jump into this. And like you're feeling a lot of newfound, almost like hope. And I don't want to say hope, because it's like you just, this knowingness of I got to create a new outcome for myself here. Okay. So we have the Chariot. Yeah, look at that. Both these cards. So you have Joan of Arc on her horse, just riding fast into what, you know, I guess like a battle. But same here, the Chariot's riding in fast. This is fast energy, and I feel this from this card too. I don't feel like you're riding into battle like in a negative sense. I just feel like you're riding into something with that energy of like, I'm impassioned, I'm standing up for something I really want, something I really believe in, and it's not going to be a failure. Three of Pentacles and Page of Wands. So yeah, we have the Wands, so definitely there's passion here, but this is something new. And instead of approaching it with kind of like, you're approaching it with new eyes. You're approaching it with new energy, because the pages are about something that's kind of has a light-hearted new energy to it. So it could be something, it's almost like, you know what, I'm going to approach this like, even if it's something from the past or something you did before or a relationship, it's like you're approaching it almost like you have to start from scratch again. Like you have to start like, this is the first time you're dating again. Or, you know, even the job, like you can't approach it like, I know everything. Okay. You definitely can't approach it with that energy of thinking that, you can't approach it with the same patterns and the same energy, the same mentality as you did in the past. Okay. Because there's definitely, this is tied to other people. So you have to learn how to build with other people and create more harmony here. It's not just about you. It's not you saying, this is how I want it to go. I'm going to build the foundation of this, and I'm going to build this or be the main person and control it. And then everyone has to just recognize what I'm doing here. Even though you're kind of pushing out other people, like you're not including them in your life, or if it's work, you're not being a team player. So this could be a message for many different areas of your life, actually, Geminis. So it doesn't necessarily have to be one. So that's the messages from your future self. Let's see. lastly, last but not least, we're going to hit what's the good stuff? Like, what's the positive stuff that you need to be aware of for November? So we have Angel of Love and Miracles. Well, this is great. Great cards. So I feel like there could be some miracles that pop up in regards to your love life or relationships. Maybe, obviously miracles are things that maybe you thought couldn't happen, and they do. But also I feel, you know, there's a risk factor here. So are you going to take the risk? Like, even if a door opens for you miraculously, what are you going to do with it? Okay. And that's, I think, a big message for you guys. But I definitely feel like when it comes to the heart, so this could be matters of the heart in general, but Angel of Love really obviously refers to relationships. But this could be just matters of the heart that you're dealing with, and something miraculously happens for you in November. So, Ace of Wands, look at that. A new spark. So there is a new spark, a passionate new beginning here. You're feeling really a spark to really jump into something that you haven't had before. 9 of Pentacles. Definitely need to do this with confidence. Like, again, I keep saying again, but it's kind of the same messaging. But there's something to Gemini where I feel like sometimes it could be relationship-wise, it could be a job where you go into it kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And you're not showing up confidently. You're not really showing up and expressing exactly what you think and feel. And maybe at some point you do a little bit, but then you kind of fall back. There's something with the message in November of you need to really open your heart up, open your kind of soul, and like consistently do that. There's not like, oh, I'm going to do it a little bit. Oh, wait, I'm going to shut down again. That's the patterns that have got you into bad outcomes in the past. 8 of Wands. Yeah. So things are gonna, this could also be about having confidence to communicate as well. Like, if you're feeling this passion and feeling inspired and want this new beginning, are you expressing it? And how are you going to express it to get the opportunities? It could be around, again, relationships here, but you're feeling, you're feeling really the energy, the fuel by the end of the month to like, I'm ready to kind of shoot off in life. I'm ready to get myself out there, expand into vast vistas, get out of my comfort zone. Let's see, what's the Devil about? Page of Swords. There is something here around communication. I think you have some patterns. There's some blocks in regards to your communication, how you communicate. This can also be about just you especially because this current situation is tied to relationship, but it's like you're always approaching things very cautiously. Like, you're not allowing yourself to fully jump into something. That's a little bit of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out energy as well. Like, you're always wanting opportunities or wanting to learn or wanting to communicate or wanting to like, but you're always you have this like block because it's like you're always being cautious. Like, I don't know. There's always this I don't know. No matter what shows up to you in life, like, it's like, no, this is a good thing. You still kind of, that can be a little bit of self-sabotaging behavior. So what's going on between this King and Queen? 4 of Wands. Yeah, this is a relationship. This could be around, like, there's definitely been some blocks within this relationship. It could be around just like committing to the relationship. moving in, marriage, all these things, but there's some sort of blocks there. And that could be you or the other person. Not saying that's you, but someone in this connection is, there's a little bit of probably commitment phobia, but I also feel like there's communication issues. So what's the Fool and the Eight of Pentacles about? Yeah, this, to me, the second line is more about work, I feel, and like building something in your life. Going into something new that has the potential to be more successful for you. And then the Ace of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Cups. So also the good stuff in November, I do feel by the end of the month there's going to be some good things happening in your relationship department or in love. Eight of Wands, Knight of Swords. Yeah, definitely you're jumping into something pretty quickly here. What's interesting is the Four of Swords energy is completely opposite of the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Like these two cards are like, you're flying in quick. I would almost say this could also refer to a trip or a getaway here, like needing some sort of time to rest and rejuvenate, I feel. But I think that's in your astrology too for the month. Be careful. You might be inspired here with the Ace of Wands. There might be a lot of passion to want to jump into something quickly or make some big, like jumping in the deep end right away. But I almost feel like just pause a little bit and just kind of don't be too quick, because I feel like if you're too impulsive, that could get you in a bind. But ultimately, this is good. It's just like hold your horses. You need to start from the beginning again in some sense and start fresh and take the time to make sure this time around, or whatever this is, that the foundation you're building is solid so that this can't crumble again, whatever this is. All right, Geminis, great stuff for you in November. I'm loving it. Thanks for joining in. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go. But yeah, enjoy your November. I'm interested to see how this unfolds for you guys, but I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.